If someone were to call you a fool, how would that make you feel? What do you think a fool is? Hopefully by the end of this video, you will be so in love with this divine archetype that you'll be ready to set out on a new adventure. Perhaps you are most familiar with the Pamela Colman Smith Rider-Waite tarot artwork. So we'll start here. The numerology of the Fool card is the 0 because the Fool's journey, the hero's journey, every human's journey is a full circle journey. It could either be a circle or a spiral. We'll get there. But the Fool is the starting point of the major arcana, not number 1, number 0. 0 also represents the womb that we come from, the void, the hole, the black hole darkness from which we are birthed. So the Fool is the very initial starting point. Now I want to move into the color symbolism, and it's different on all cards, but on this Coleman Smith artwork, the yellow in the boots, the yellow in the background, this talks about your own willpower. This is about the solar plexus chakra, and it's the center of our own personal will, our own human will. The Fool has everything to do with deciding to take the leap off the edge and go into this new adventure. Almost every one of these cards, they're standing on a precipice. This little chickadee here in the Wild Unknown Tarot. These two cards, two different Fool cards from the Curious Creatures, which are amazing. This one, first one is jumping off the cliff, and the second one is standing on the cliff. Now, I love the evolution of these two cards from the Curious Creatures, because this is the first Fool card, and this is the Fool 2.0. Notice how in this one, it's just animal, all animal. And now he's come back to complete another cycle through the arcana, another turn around the spiral, and there's more human. These two cards are talking about the human journey of self-attainment, self-enlightenment, self-awareness, self-knowing. This is leaping into nature to see yourself. These two cards are the most incredible here on the entire spread to me. But again, here is the William Blake Tarot, and again, the central character is jumping off the ledge. Now in here, the William Blake Tarot, here's his loyal companion dog going first, and he's jumping right into the mouth of danger, which is an interesting note. It's like the Fool card asks you to review your relationship with the universe, with God, with all that is, with whatever you believe you can trust in. In this card, it's like there's other beings, entities, loyalty to you that are willing to take the hit. Wow, that's really deep. I'm going to have to go into that more. I hadn't thought about that until right now. So we're going to move on to another card. This one over here is so fun and interesting. This is the Fool card from the Zombie Tarot. And this Fool is taking the adventure of his own heart. In the Zombie Tarot, there's a lot of cards that are like humans and zombies mixing together. And in this Fool card, he's obviously walking through the cemetery to meet up with his lover, with the love of his life. Maybe he's so foolish he doesn't know they're dead yet. Maybe he's so foolish that he thinks that his love can bring them back to life. We don't know, but either way, it's not up to us as individuals to judge another person's Fool journey as to what the point or the purpose of it is meant to be. All of us do this differently. Each and every one of us is allowed to go for our own joy and our own happiness. Look at how happy this Fool is. There's a lot to be said about the archetype of the Fool for naivety, of being unaware of what comes next. And sometimes that can feel foolish in the way of like unsafe or immature. But really, taking a leap of faith into the unknown, putting yourself out there without having any safety net or assurance that of anything is really one of the bravest things that we can do. It's really one of the bravest things that we could be. The staircases in the back of this card from the Mythic Tarot remind me a lot of the M.C. Escher artwork, where like one staircase leads to another, but it flips you back upside down and turns you around. The Fool archetype and that type of artwork, that whole experience of getting turned around on your journey, it's like the divine trickster archetype, where it's like as soon as you think you know how the world is. As soon as you think you have it all figured out, the World card is the last card in the major arcana. As soon as you think you know your way around the world, or that you really have a good idea of what it is and how to maneuver, you're right back at the Fool's beginning position, because there's always something more to learn. As soon as we grasp what is, it changes so that we can then again harmonize it. So the Fool is on a never-ending adventure to find and discover itself in new ways through new experiences. Like in this one, this is again from the Wild Unknown Tarot. This Fool, it's got the yellow solar plexus energy, but it's just a little baby chick. It's just a little baby chick on this branch, trusting the branch for now. But at some point, this baby chick is going to grow up too big for this branch to support it, which is another message from the Fool card. Like, you can't stay stuck and stagnant where you are forever, because the world will move you. It's a circle that's spinning. The earth is always moving. The earth is always carrying you on a journey. And if you become reliant on staying grounded exactly where you are and you never learn to trust your wings, you're eventually going to fall from this branch. And look what's down here. Darkness. If we can't learn to trust ourselves, if we can't learn to trust to take a step, go forward on the adventure, we're going to end up meeting a fall. And like down here, that fall is scary. It's scary to jump into the void. It's scary to jump into the void of knowing nothing about what comes next. But that's where trust comes into play. And in many of these cards, like this one from the Curious Creatures, it is actually a dog depicted on the cards. But on many of the other cards, there's a companion, a white dog, which is talking about purity, loyalty, spirit, and passion. It's about familiarity. This one, it's an actual familiar. It's a cat sitting on this blue cushion, which is like a nod to, listen, sometimes the more animalistic side of us, sometimes the more heart-led, not mind-critiqued or mind-controlled version of us actually knows a lot more than we give it credit for. Being a fool means being able to tell the mind to take a seat, take a break, because we're willing to trust in something that we haven't yet been able to see. The opposite of a fool, the opposite of someone who's willing to take risk, the kind of person that only moves forward when they know exactly what's going to happen, is someone that is subject to the destruction of their own potential, because the brain can only project into the future what it knows from the past. If you're never willing to listen to your heart that's calling to you, saying, hey, look, we've got all the tools that we need. We've got enough room. We've got enough sustenance. We've got everything we need. The green is the heart chakra. Let's let our heart in the shoes, the green here, carry us forward. Let's carry this rose of hope. The sun's at our backs. It's compelling us forward. Like, let's take this inspired action to move forward. If we never listen to that heart, we're walking ourselves to the grave. And we're going to get there in a nice pressed business suit, super responsible, very dapper looking. But we're the fool nonetheless, because we've walked all the way through the journey not having lived at all. The Fool card is one of my favorite archetypes. Like, the Fool in general is one of my favorite archetypes because, again, I'll equate it with the trickster energy. And the trickster, for as much as it can be a problem in terms of like Loki or Coyote or any of the archetypes that show up in that, it's riddles. It's the joy of finding some beautiful key, some next wonderful point to look out from. Because not only is this a cliff that the Fool is standing on, it's a high point. It's an advantage. It's a vantage point. He's up here higher. He's seeing from higher perspective. The Fool experiences the world from an elevated perspective, and that elevated perspective is curiosity. It's hope. It's inspired action. It's whimsy, which is wisdom. Because if you're not having fun, what is the point? Personally, I don't see one. If you're not enjoying your life, if you're not feeling like it's an adventure, an epic adventure that your heart is leading you on, there's no point in taking the journey. So this is the beginning point of the Fool's journey. This is the beginning point of the hero's journey. This is the beginning point of any human being's life. What am I here for? What is my heart calling me to do? Yes, I might be a baby. Yes, I might be a beginner, but I've got everything that I need. I've got companionship, I've got hope, and I've got my heart. I don't know what's going to happen when I get where I'm going. And sometimes I'll have to sit down and juggle all of the mess and all of the information that's coming in, all the thoughts that I had, all the things I thought I was going to get, and what's actually happening now to discern, is this the right time to step off the cliff? Should I watch for the things around me? Have I looked out enough? But when does the planning end? If I've thought enough, if I've felt enough, if I've gotten the inspiration to go, then I'm going to take a leap. And I'm going to do it again and again and again. And every time I do, I'm going to evolve and come full circle. I love this. And this is probably where I'll end. The Fool, first version in the Curious Creatures Tarot, is the 0. Look at this. The Fool 2.0 is the lemniscate. It's not an 8. It's the infinity symbol. It's the lemniscate. It's the looping, twisting, turning, and this becomes a spiral and another form. If we're on our path and we're never taking any leaps of faith, if we're never doing anything new, if we're never trusting our heart to guide us forward, then we're cutting ourselves off from being able to spiral up. We stay in a stuck circle. As soon as we start trusting that we can do, that we are worthy, that we are deserving, that it is our prerogative, that it's our choice, now we start spiraling upward. Now we start enjoying our path, enjoying our journey, and becoming more of the fully embodied human-animal hybrid that this curious life has compelled us to become. Sorry for bumping the camera there. So, I've got quite a few shorts out for many of these decks and some additional different ones that I didn't put on the table today, but I really wanted to give a full-scale understanding of what the Fool means to me, how I interpret it in my card readings. Hopefully this has helped you. I would love to hear your comments, either on the Fool card, your favorite one, which deck, what kind of artwork, any questions that you have on these things, or your experience with the Fool archetype. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this. I've got other full card readings out, and I'll continue making them. I've got shorts on all sorts of different cards, and I upload pick a card readings once weekly as well. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do that now. Hit that like button, and I will hope to see you back for another video soon.